Just heading to the gym with this fresh ass fade. Ooh. So, I like how when you get a haircut, you just feel so fucking like fresh with yourself. I'm gonna train some arms right now. You know what? I'm definitely feeling in a little bit better spirits. However, I'm very fucking lonely a lot of the time. I guess I've sort of been filling that time with watching like mindless TV shows, because that way like I don't have to reflect on things, which isn't super great. I've been dragging ass on getting set up with a therapist, but I do have a list to go off of. So there's that. I feel like I might film some content today. It's arms, so not the hardest workout. The annoying part about arms, to be honest, is it takes a lot of fucking focus. And I hate when people are like, oh, arms are easy. It's like, yeah, arms are easy if you're just bullshitting and repping shit out fast as fuck and not focusing on contractions and stretches. But if you actually focus on getting peak contractions, it's fucking a lot of focus. Most people curl wrong. Powerlifters, you fat fucks. Seriously though, I have this like, I love like fucking being bent about powerlifting, because a lot of them think they're so hard and that they train hard, and they fucking train at the lowest intensity. Well, if you go by intensity doesn't have to do so. Actually, the definition doesn't have to do with how hard you're training. It has to do with like your maximal force output. So in that regard, yes, they're training more intensely by definition. If you're going with the colloquial usage, they're not. They're working very fucking hard on heavy days, which they seldomly have, for fucking 10 to 15 seconds at a time. That's it. If that. Sometimes it's just like 1 to 2 reps. But you know, it's bullshit, because a lot of them skip their ancillary lifts, which I didn't know that was a thing until I started competing. You know, they're lazy fucks. Now, if you're an elite powerlifter, whole different ballgame. Like, I have a lot of respect for you, because you're working really hard, and you have to actually like hone in, because you're competing for money and stuff, and you actually have genetics and are strong enough and have put in a lot of work over years that, you know, it's very promising for you. But like most people who think they're hardcore think they're gonna get there, and they don't even fucking diet. They eat gummy bears when they're working out. They're fucking lazy. They're talking to people for 10 minutes in between every set. You know, every time they have a bad set, it's a fucking misgroove instead of just saying like they fucked up. It's annoying, and they're delusional. And I think that's my biggest pet peeve with it. Like, they're just like fucked in their heads with what they think is hard, and they don't know. That's why they're able to compartmentalize, and they're able to just like be like, oh yeah, well these things on the outside are not anywhere near as hardcore, and I'm actually strong and all that shit. They have no fucking clue. The hardest thing to do is bodybuilding. It just is, flat out. It's the hardest thing. You think gym performance is this like fucking like that's the only component to it? Which, first of all, bodybuilders outperform you guys 10 out of 10 times in fucking gym performance, just with like effort level and just the energy output and the fucking amount of volume that you're doing, and actually how hard it is to hit failure sets every set. Powerlifters rarely train to failure. Now, they have decent technique for powerlifting because all they're focused on is moving weight. When it comes to muscle contractions, that's why a lot of them look like shit. And you can tell, like, just the basis of powerlifting, most of them have really shitty chests and back, because just fucking flat benching with a huge arch and the way that they do, it's not really stimulating their chest. And maybe the thing is, when they mix in ancillary lifts, which a lot of them skip, that is so ignorant, by the way. But, you know, like, they'll do like, let's say 2 to 3 sets of an incline movement, and that's it. Like, that's all they're doing. And they're like, oh, that's enough. Or like, they think deadlifts is enough for their back. It's fucking not. Like, then they'll do like a couple sets of seal rows, which is not really shit. It isn't. It's not enough. It's not enough work with not enough intent for that. And it's bullshit. It's a bullshit thing that they put out, and they think that they're hardcore. They think they're putting in all this work. They suck. Like, it's a bunch of losers. And I'm speaking as someone who competed and was good enough to get first place in a competition. Like, and that's another pet peeve. Like, these dumbasses online, they'll be like, oh yeah, stick with your 405. Like, okay, so I squatted high bar a set of 405 for 10 reps at 203 pounds body weight. That's not strong? Because you can squat 600 plus for a couple reps, that's stronger? Yes, it is by raw weight. But to argue that I'm not strong and because the equivalent of what you do is more. Like, what the fuck? Are you retarded? What the? It's like talking to mentally unstable people all the time. They don't know how to fucking take steroids either. They're just ignorant individuals. And I base that off of being in a Chicago fucking hardcore delusional left. I'm not conservative, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that's the immediate interpretation when I say that. Like, crazy far left fucking powerlifting gym. They're all just like whacked in their head about everything. It's crazy. Like, they're eating gummy worms and shit when they're working out. They eat donuts in the gym. Like, what the fuck? And then like they're doing water cuts when they're like 25% body fat. Dude, what? That's insane. What the fuck? Lose some fat. You are obviously fat. Or like, I'm holding water right now. I'm like, no, you're holding fat. You're fat. And the whole mindset with all that, I wish people would actually put in like honest to God effort, because gym performance is just one aspect. Circling back to that, the harder part is your diet and maintaining your sleep and not having a shitty fucking lifestyle, which just about all of them do. Again, not the elite ones. The elite ones, fantastic people. My hat's off to them. They are, they're out there competing and putting their all on the line, doing everything they can outside the gym to make sure they maximize the performance in the gym. This is not indicative of the rest of them. And you know what? I don't understand fanboying over lifters either. Like, I appreciate John Hack. He's a strong fucking guy. Would John Hack cut it in bodybuilding? Absolutely not. Is John Hack bigger than me? Yes. Is he as proportionate as me? No, absolutely not. Is he astronomically strong even for steroids and stronger than I will ever be? 100% he is. But I can appreciate that without being like a fucking fanboy and looking at this guy like he's some fucking mystic entity that is like this fucking godlike figure. Like, what is that? You should be able to look at people doing amazing things and be like, damn, I think I could do that too. And that's the amazing part when you look at something like Instagram. Like, you actually see a lot more powerlifters, actually mostly female powerlifters, because it's a lot easier to do well in bodybuilding as a female. Boom. That's a controversial thing that I am right about because it's factual. People don't want to give me credit for that. It's an objective observation, and you know what? You're able to build some pretty decent physiques if you powerlift correctly. Look at a guy like Dan Green, for example. Amazing. Larry Wheels, he has a good physique. Do I think it's a pro quality physique? No. Am I pro quality? Absolutely not. But I'm trying to get there. You see these people, like when you see people like Hunter Henderson, for example, that become a professional bodybuilder in a couple shows. I think that inspires more people to do bodybuilding shows that normally wouldn't, because they see someone else do something, and then the fact that they're able to visually see that, they're like, hey, maybe I could do that too. And that's a positive aspect to Instagram. It really is. But when you have these people that they make excuses all the time, which is most individuals, like my biggest thing I cannot stand is people that drop out of meets. I've done meets injured as fuck. I did a bench competition with my shoulder fucked up. Why did I do that? Because I said I would. That's the mentality you should have, in my opinion. I don't understand this, like, I'm not 100%. I got sick 4 weeks ago. Like, these minor ass little things, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna drop out. I'm not gonna be my best. There's never gonna be an opportune time in life for things. Like, maybe once in a blue moon, you're gonna go up to a competition and feel 100%. That's not real life. Do you think fucking UFC fighters go in the ring and they're like, yeah, I'm only gonna fight someone if there's absolutely nothing going on with me? Like, what is that fucking pathetic, weak bullshit that people do? Like, I signed up for a bodybuilding competition December 3rd. I pride myself on this, by the way. If I say I'm gonna do something, I fucking do it. If I'm not in shape, I'm gonna go up there looking fucking pathetic. I signed up for it. I have to go hang. And the motivation that I have to get on stage in my underwear, that's enough. That's all the motivation you need to work your ass off and come in shape. But let's say for like some fucked up reason I'm not. I signed up for that. I don't just get a drop out. You know what that says about your character and you as a person when you do that kind of shit? It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and honestly, you don't want to be around people like that because there's always the thing. There's always going to be a reason they don't perform or why they could have been great and they could have did all these things, but they fucking didn't. These people are always out there bullshitting their way through life, bitching about why they don't have the things that they want because they didn't put in the fucking work. And you don't want to be around those kinds of people. You want to be around people that fucking challenge you, uplift you, put you in uncomfortable situations that you don't know if you're going to do well at, but you're going to bust your ass and be comfortable sucking at something for the first time. That's the kind of shit you want to fucking be around. You don't want to be around this bullshit, fucking everyone needs a handout, participation trophy, I could have been this but I'm not attitude. That's fucking bullshit. Those kinds of people are poison, and they will poison your life and drag you down to their level if you surround yourself with them. That's why I don't lift at my old powerlifting gym anymore. It's a bunch of mentally weak fucks. And yeah, there's some decent people in there, but that's like 2 of them out of fucking 100 people. And you don't want to be around trash fucking communities or people that talk shit behind your back. That's why you should always have a lot of acquaintances, but very few friends. Because friends, actual friends, they're gonna speak upon your behalf when you're not present. How rarely do you actually run across that in real life where you can honest to God say someone does that for you? It almost never happens. When it does, that's a special individual in your heart. And you know what? You have to return the favor for them if they're truly your friend. Now, you will, in this day and age, it's like fucking impossible. People always have some negative shit to say about everyone. That's another reason I don't go there anymore. The second someone's not in the room or they go to the bathroom or something, you got something shitty to say about them, fuck you, you piece of shit. Especially like, these guys are like at 30% body fat, talking shit about someone who's also at 30% body fat about why they don't lift fucking 2 pounds more than them or some, like just mundane dumb shit. Like, you know how much of a bitch you sound like when you talk like that? And yeah, I'm being vulgar right now because those kinds of people are fucking pathetic. And that's my biggest thing. I talk a lot of shit, but I fucking always bust my back to fucking improve and come in the shape that I need to and fucking perform. And I cannot stand that acceptance of mediocrity without mentally fucking, like, they don't mentally see themselves as mediocre, even though everything they say, do, and the whole life they live fucking exemplifies how mediocre they fucking are. Cannot stand that shit. I lift mostly alone right now. I have a couple other people I lift around that are pretty decent. I can get spots out of them. I absolutely, you know, I could trust them to push me on sets I need to get pushed on. I live in Chicago. Unfortunately, I'm not at a gym where I'm around high-level bodybuilders. I am not one personally, but I want to be, and being around those kinds of people really pushes you to get there yourself. You don't really come across that. The gym I go to now, I'm the strongest guy in there, and that's not trying to like stroke my ego or like I think I'm the shit. It's not fun because there are days where it's hard. Like, I hate when people talk about motivation. Like, I need motivation. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. You're not going to wake up ready to fucking go. That's why every time I get a client and they just watch like fucking Creed or some shit and they send me a page-long thing about how they're about to like change their whole life and they're ready to go, I know they're going to quit in 2 weeks. They always do. And it would genuinely surprise me if someone like that, someone who did those things, didn't quit. Because motivation is fleeting. They're always looking for, like, they will only put in effort when they're in the mood to. And that is the number one thing that tells me someone's going to fail. Discipline is what matters. Going to the gym, and the gym is just one aspect of life. This is applicable to any endeavor that you really care about. When you go on days that you don't feel like fucking going and you still bust your ass and you're really not in the mood to, but you do it because it's a part of your daily life and that's what you know you need to do to succeed, it will be ingrained in you. It will be something you do and you excel at, and you will have shitty days and you will have great days. But the important part is you will not miss a day. And that is the pinnacle cornerstone of what it takes to be good at something. And people don't put in that fucking effort, and it's really sad. It's really sad, especially because just how the internet is and what we see everything. Everyone wants everything now, but no one wants to put in the effort to get something 2 years from now, even though that's what it takes to get that. And there's outliers and all that stuff, and that's the problem. People look at outliers, like someone who's just like physically a specimen, like I'll give an example. I went to college with Jimmy Garoppolo. It was a shitty fucking college team. He was the quarterback, like terrible fucking records all the time. I think like 1 year I was there that he was the quarterback. He had a great record. Well, this guy was really good at what he did. He went to the Patriots in his very first year. He got a Super Bowl ring. It's like everything went right for that guy. And he was working hard, but everything went right for that guy every step along the way. That doesn't happen to most people. And people look at outliers like that and they're like, yeah, that's how it's got to be or nothing. That's such bullshit. We're not all dealt the same hand of cards, but we all can improve the cards that we lay out on the table over time. People have assets, opportunities, things that are presented to them that other people don't have opportunities for. But it doesn't matter, because there's a lot of people that have dirt shit and they end up in a better spot than individuals that had a full deck of fucking cards in their hand, because they had to put in more effort and they had to discipline themselves and they had to wake up every day and bust their fucking ass. So that's just ingrained in them that when they actually start improving and they have better assets at their disposal to lay out, they have the discipline and the hard work ingrained in their brain for them to lay everything out in a manner that's successful for them. And that's so important in life. You rarely come across that. And that's why, you know what, and we all have friends that, you know, they bullshit. Like, they just got bullshit attitudes. Like, maybe it's people we grew up with, but when you're an adult and you actively choose to be around individuals and make new friends with people like that, you are selling yourself short, big time. It doesn't matter if you had a good conversation with someone. If they're a lazy piece of shit, uninspiring, they suck the hope out of you. You're drinking a glass of poison. You don't need to do that. You don't need validation from someone who fucking wakes up at noon every day. Well, fuck that person. It doesn't matter. You need to go out there and do the things that you know that you need to do to get where you want to be. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But you know what's sad? Growing old and then wondering what would have happened if you did put all the effort out into something. That's the sad part. If you put in all the effort in the world that you possibly could have, you took opportunities, you took risks that you thought were necessary, and it didn't work out in the end, at least you know you did everything you could have. And that's something more settling to fucking die with than lost hope and dreams that were never foreseen. Or I'm sorry, not foreseen, like aspired to. So that's kind of my little rant for today. Yeah, so pretty much a takeaway is fuck powerlifters. You fat, lazy fucks. Just about all of you. Not the advanced ones, that's another takeaway. Not the impressive ones, but the people who think they're impressive or they're on the road to and they just bullshit fucking everything in their life in every little way. Yeah, fuck you guys.